is there a way to get paid for delivering this, but also have it further linked to my goals down the road so that I'm having like multiple layers of return on investment? I get paid to do it, but then also maybe down the line, it can lead to more business. So I always like things that are a 2 for or a 3 for or a 4 for. That is leverage. Welcome to Plenty. I'm your host, Kate Northrup, and together we are going on a journey to help you have an incredible relationship with money, time, and energy, and to have abundance on every possible level. Every week, we're going to dive in with experts and insights to help you unlock a life of plenty. Let's go fill our cups. I've been getting the same question in a variety of forms lately, and that is, how do I price my consulting services, my speaking fee, my offerings? Like, how do I price stuff? And so I'm going to give you 4 things to think about when you are pricing your offers. And this is related, here we are. If you're listening to this in real time as we release things here on Plenty, it's the top of the year. So you may have set some financial goals and you may be asking yourself now, how am I going to make money this year? Like, what's the plan? Now, I want to say, if you've been following along, you know that I would encourage you to, instead of asking the question of how am I going to hit these goals, to ask yourself the question, who do I need to be in order for these goals to become inevitable? That being said, the 4 things I'm going to outline today are going to help you to price your offerings as the who you need to be to make these goals inevitable. So I want to walk you through the things that I went through when I was thinking about changing my speaking fees. And also, this applies to consulting services, your online offerings, if you offer courses or coaching packages. Here's the thing. For most things out there, you really can kind of like come up with whatever pricing you want. For a lot of business owners, they really can come up with whatever pricing they want. Now, of course, there's like your industry standards. There's all sorts of things that you can look at. But I would encourage you to not spend too much time looking out there and comparing your paper to other people's paper, and keep your eyes on your own paper and price your own offerings and services according to what is happening in your realm of reality, not so much like comparison, because we can really get caught up when we start looking outside ourselves. So at least begin inside your own realm. So first things first, I want to, wait, I just lost my track of thought and there was a thing I wanted to say. Oh, I know. Okay. All right. First things first, I have a bonus thing. I said there were going to be 4 things. This is a bonus thing right at the top. I want to dispel a myth. You are not going to sell more of your thing by discounting the price. In fact, it may very well be the opposite. It's really common, especially if you have money programming, money neural patterning that is embedded in lack and scarcity, to think that a lower price is going to make it more likely that people will say yes. But I want to tell you, you are not necessarily correct. Now, sure, certain buyers are price shoppers, but those may not be your ideal client, right? Like if you're Walmart, absolutely, your ideal client is a price comparison person. However, if you are Saks Fifth Avenue, if you're Neiman Marcus, your ideal client is not necessarily a price looking for a deal person. They are looking for a luxury experience, right? I personally have not purchased things because they are not priced high enough. You might be like, what? But I'm telling you, like, if I'm looking to get an amazing massage and someone's like, I've got a deal for massages, $55 for a 90-minute massage. I'm like, that person must be terrible at giving massages, because if they were any good, they would be charging more than $55 for a 90-minute massage. So that's just an example that a lower price does not necessarily mean that more people are going to buy. In fact, I've found that sometimes premium prices actually magnetize more buyers to my door because of the perceived value. Now, am I saying that you can just charge a premium price willy-nilly, not based on getting people a result or your experience or value? No. I'm not saying that. But if you are delivering a result that backs up the price, premium pricing often is more of a match for your ideal buyer and will magnetize the right people to you and also repel the wrong people. And that is a win for everyone. I will also say, when you charge premium pricing, it makes it so that there is more financial flow in your business, which allows you to hire more people, pay them really well, give great bonuses, make investments in your company so that you can grow and get people a better result, so that you can improve your marketing, reach more people, change more lives, and also so that you can have the spaciousness to do pro bono work, offer scholarships, and improve your free content if you're in a content-based business like I am, so that more people can have access to life-changing material for free. So in case you have a little gremlin in your mind that's like, charging more money is bad, it's greedy, it's whatever, I have just outlined all the reasons why charging more money can actually allow you to be of service to more people. Okay, now into the 4 things to consider as you are pricing your services, offerings, speaking fee, consulting, whatever it is. Number 1, please keep in mind that you are not charging for the amount of time it takes to deliver the offer or the service. You are charging for the transformation that will occur when someone is receiving that offer or consulting or whatever. So you need to get out of linear thinking of like, how much is an hour of my time worth? Well, no, that's not what this is, right? Like when I go do a keynote speech, usually it's like 45 minutes, right? And maybe a 30-minute Q&A, something like that. I'm not charging for that 45 minutes. I am charging for the 20 years of experience that I have in honing my content and my expertise and my ability to deliver when I'm on stage. So I am charging for the ability to deliver a compelling keynote that is motivating and inspiring to that audience. And I'm charging for my experience, wisdom, and expertise. I'm not charging for 45 minutes, right? So you really want to think like, what is the experience and the expertise and the wisdom that they are receiving in the amount of time that I am delivering this? And likely, you can't really put a price tag on that. Like, let's say you have your PhD and like 5 different certifications, plus you've worked with 1,000 clients getting them an incredible result. Like maybe you have a protocol. Actually, this is a real friend client of mine, Dr. Cleopatra. So Dr. Cleopatra Camperveen is the head of the Fertility and Pregnancy Institute. She has a fertility protocol called the Primester that is to be followed the 120 days before you get pregnant for both the male and female partner. And she has a 98% success rate for people who get pregnant, even sometimes after a decade of not being able to get pregnant. It is not IVF, it's not conventional fertility treatment. Her work is revolutionary. Okay? So she's an incredible health scientist. She was a professor. She's done bajillions of years of clinical research, and she has honed this protocol based on clinical evidence, based on experiments, based on her own experience, and based on the data, right? When someone signs up for one of Dr. Cleopatra's programs, they are paying for the value that she's bringing, not the number of hours of content, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So that's number one, is like, what are they paying for in terms of the experience? What is the value of your experience, your wisdom, your expertise that you are bringing to the table? Number two, what is the result that they're going to get, right? So a couple years ago, I came back to Miami after being gone for the summer and our air conditioning had broken. It was freaking hot. It was August in Miami. And I was like, WTF, it is so hot in this apartment. And so Mike found an air conditioning repair guy, right? Immediately. We were like, we got to get this fixed. So the air conditioning repairman came to our condo and he was able to fix the problem in about 15 minutes. I think in the end, I paid him about $1,000 because he upsold me on this other UV cleaning thing. I don't know what it was. I am like totally like the girl who's like, sure, great. I'll buy the upsell thing if it's going to clean my air. So I paid over $1,000, I believe, for what took him 15 minutes. Okay. It was not about the time. I do not care how long it took him to create the result. The result is I needed to be cool inside my apartment in August in Miami. And in fact, the fact that he got it done so quickly was a huge benefit to me. That was added value. The mistake that I see so many people making is pricing based on the amount of time it takes them. No. Stop doing that. I want you to price yourself based on how much your customer will value the result. Back to the Dr. Cleopatra example. Dr. Cleopatra is working with people who want a baby. They want to become pregnant. They want to have the experience of being parents. Obviously, you cannot put a price tag on that, but you could ask, like, how much is helping someone meet a deep soul longing worth to them? Well, it's priceless, right? She's not going to charge just like a gajillion million. She's not going to charge millions of dollars because she wants people to be able to access this product and service, this knowledge. However, you really can think about people are not paying for the amount of time it takes to get the result. They don't care. In fact, they'd rather get the result more quickly. They are paying for how much that result is worth to them. So you need to ask yourself that question. Then number three is, how much time and energy is this thing taking away from other things in your life and in your business? So in the case of me doing keynotes, it takes a lot. I get nervous leading up to the keynote. There are several days, if not several weeks, of me feeling nervous about it. I wish that weren't true, but that is true about me. I still get nervous speaking. I actually kind of on some level hope that that's always true because it means I care. But anyway, that's kind of distracting. So it's like the time I'm putting together the slide deck, the time I'm planning the talk. It is also the time that I am not fully able to devote myself to all the other things in my life and in my business, to working on my book, to working on my other content, to leading my other programs, to ideating, to all of the things, right? So every time we say yes to something, it automatically means we are saying no to something else. And when I'm pricing myself for a keynote, for example, I take into consideration there's a lot of time on both ends of that 45-minute gig that is required of me that is not being able to be devoted to the other things in my life or business. And so the person who's hiring me to do a talk needs to be paying me an amount that makes it worth it for me to be nervous leading up to it and for me to devote time and energy that takes away from other stuff. On the other, like another side note, which may be true of consulting gigs and other things, you really want to ask yourself, like, right, for a speaking gig, it requires me to get on an airplane, leave my kids, in some cases work out childcare, possibly have jet lag, spend the night in a random hotel. Like, it's a lot on the shoulders of those things. And so somebody needs to pay me to be willing to do that. And that's worked into the price beyond the 45 minutes. Okay. And then the fourth thing to be asking yourself so number 3 was, what is the time and energy it's taking away from other things, and what is that worth to you? And then number 4 is this offering even related to my goals and my other intentions? So, for example, if I decided, oh, well, I can make all this money doing keynotes now that I've priced myself at a premium price, cool. But is it even related? Like, is this offering related to my larger goals? So, for example, if my larger goal was to enroll a greater student body into Relax Money, which it is, and I know that our ideal client for Relax Money is someone who is relatively successful financially, but feels like there's a mismatch of how it looks in front of the scenes and how it looks behind the scenes financially. And they want their level of financial power internally to be a match for what it looks like externally. I would ask myself, like, would it make sense to go do a speaking gig for a small group of 10 people who are completely not into personal development, even if that person paid me my full speaking gig fee? No, it wouldn't make sense, because sometimes the money's not worth it, because in the end, if that offering, if you getting paid to do something does not relate to your larger goals and dreams, no amount of money makes sense to do it. For example, many years ago, I got offered a ginormous 5-figure offer to go speak to a group of female oil and gas executives in Qatar. And I said no. There was a variety of reasons. It was a small child years kind of thing. There was like a bunch of reasons I didn't do it. But at the end of the day, I was like, are these people my ideal client? And in order for me to fly to the Middle East and do all of the rigmarole it took, even though they were offering me more than I'd ever gotten paid in my life for a speaking gig, I just was like, it doesn't feel worth it. And so when you're pricing things, I really want you to consider that there is a bigger return on investment of your time and energy than money. And there's a way to make every single move you make in business strategic, so that your one gig, right, landing one client, then leads to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. For example, I will, like, if somebody asks me to speak, let's say a friend of mine wants me to come do a bonus talk inside of one of their paid programs, I will often do that for free. Why? After me telling you all the things it takes away from and all the things about my value and the result and all that stuff, why would I do that for free for an hour? Because when someone has purchased a premium program from one of my colleagues in this industry, I know they are already a pretty well-vetted ideal client of mine. And when I get in front of them, I'm getting in front of a powerful group of people who already invest in personal development and business courses and optimizing their life and business on a variety of levels. So it's worth it to me because I know it's connected very directly to my long-term goals. So that's the fourth thing, is to really ask, how does this offering or this consulting gig or this speaking gig relate to my larger strategic goals? to the ideal client? Is it putting me in front of more of my ideal client? Is it putting me in front of more key decision makers? Like, is there a way to get paid for delivering this, but also have it further linked to my goals down the road so that I'm having like multiple layers of return on investment? I get paid to do it, but then also maybe down the line, it can lead to more business. So I always like things that are a 2 for, or a 3 for, or a 4 for. That is leverage. All right. So in review, when you're thinking about pricing your offerings, I want you to think about the following. Number one, a lower price does not necessarily mean more people are going to buy it. So that was your bonus one. Then really, of the 4 things, here's what I have for you. Number one, think through the experience, wisdom, and expertise that they are receiving. What is the value of that? Number 2, what is the result that you are delivering, and how much does someone value that result? What is it worth to your person, to your customer, to get that result? Number 3, is the time and energy this will take away from other offerings and opportunities worth it? Or how could you price it so that the time and energy away from other things is worth it to you? And then number 4, is this offering or gig related to your larger strategic and life goals? And therefore, does it make sense? And is there a way to leverage this so that you could actually get a return on investment for it multiple times over? So that's what you got. Think about those things as you're pricing your offerings. I hope this was helpful, and may you have an incredibly abundant year where you make more money than you've ever made before. See you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Plenty. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. That's one of the best ways that you can ensure to spread the abundance of plenty with others. You can even text it to a friend and tell them to listen in. And if you want even more support to expand your abundance, head over to katenorthrup.com/breakthroughs, where you can grab my free money breakthrough guide that details the biggest money breakthroughs from some of the top earning women I know, plus a mini lesson accompanying it with my own biggest money breakthroughs and a nervous system healing tool for you to expand your abundance. Again, that's over at katenorthrup.com/breakthroughs. See you next time.